good afternoon, everybody. This is Leo here, CEO and founder of 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗜𝗍 Educations. And today I have a very special guest with me. Is my student, Mr. Yousuf. And today, the reason I'm bringing him on to our podcast is to share with you guys his experience with our job coaching program and his success with our program. And I'm more than happy, more than delighted to know that recently Yousuf has landed a very, very good civil engineer job with a very, very good engineering firm. So I'm so happy. But before we start, Yousuf, for those who do not know you, can you quickly introduce yourself in about 5 to 6 sentences? Who you are, what did you study, and where are you at the moment?
My name is Yousuf, as you know, and I'm a graduate of Deakin University with a master's degree in civil engineering, and I completed my master's back in 2021 November. And from then, I've been trying to hunt jobs. That's what I was doing, and I got a hold of you. And right now, I'm located in Melbourne. Soon, I'll be relocating to Shepparton, where my job is.
Fantastic. So before we talk about the whole process of finding jobs with us, Yousuf, tell everyone a little bit about when did you come to Australia?
I came to Australia back in 2019 in the summer, in the summer break, actually, the summer semester. That is the November.
Yeah, and when you first came here, did you find it hard to find jobs? Was it were you struggling in the beginning when you first came here?
Like when I came in here, the only thing that was good about the whole thing when I came to Australia was that I had my friends over here, people I knew back from India. So that was the only thing that was positive. Apart from that, everything was, a bit of a struggle in terms of even finding, odd jobs and, like, because there was always students coming in because COVID didn't happen yet for the job market to be open. So it was quite a hard job to even find a job at 𝗘𝗡𝗧, like it was like a hard, I find it hard to find even that job too, because there was so much competition back in, in 2019.
Gotcha. So, but when you came here, you already done your degree from overseas, right? You finished your degree from India, bachelor degree.
Yeah.
And did you ever think about finding a professional job, or when did you start thinking about, hey, I need to work in my field? When are you aware that it's actually important to work in your field?
Pretty much like, every student who comes in Australia, he actually dreams to actually complete the master's and then, work professionally. And they think, it's a simple process. But, after coming here, starting my studies, my master's, after a semester or so, and looking at how guys work here and everything, how the system is around here. So everyone is so focused on the odd jobs, like just earning good money in the odd jobs, and they feel that it's satisfying, and that's it. We're going to do this for even 3 years, 4 years, and after that, when their graduate visa is going to come to an end, then they think, oh, I should have found a professional job and something like that. It's too late by that time. But for me, halfway through my master's, I realized that I need to get a professional job. I need to work for that. So at that time, in my third semester, I guess it was my summer break. It was my first break after 3 semesters. So at that time, I started to kind of like, at least I'll make a baseline CV. Something. I need to do something, and let's begin with something, because if I start right now, by the time I complete my master's, I hope I can reach somewhere. That's what my thought process was.
Gotcha. So what's good about you is, so you actually think about your professional career in advance, whereas most of your friends, they tend to start thinking about it when it's a bit too late in many cases, which is, I think, something very different.
Yeah, at least after their masters, no one really thinks about it during their masters. At least their masters is finished, their graduate visa have came, and then they think, oh, like, let's see how this thing goes.
But do you think it's better to start early, or do you think they should only think about it once they finish their study, or they should think about it now while they are still doing their study?
Well, in my opinion, I think that you should start early. Like for example, when I started, so because I started it like before even my master's ended, so that's the reason I found out that my CV is total rubbish. I didn't do a good job with my CV, and that's the reason I'm not getting any job offers. I'm applying for so many graduate roles, undergraduate roles, like before completing the masters, but I wasn't successful. So that was the reason that like I came to you, I found you, and I approached you, because I started the process and I noticed that it is not really working out, and my result for my masters didn't even came out, and I actually approached you in October. So I think that if you start early, you're gonna know for yourself that where you're really at and what the job market like, and like how do you actually compare to yourself with the job market. So then you'll know that, okay, am I really good enough, or I need extra help, I need support in these terms.
Yes, I think this is for everyone's watching this. This is such a great advice from Yousuf. So what he was saying is, it's always better to start now, start early, because only then you can find out what is going on wrong with you, and then you can fix that up. And then by the time you graduate, then you have an advantage over your peers, who are by that time, most of them are still driving Uber, working in Coles and Woolies, but you already got the professional job. So that is really smart thinking of you, Yousuf. So fast forward a little bit. How do you get to know about us? I think a lot of viewers are actually curious. How do you get to come across our Facebook and me?
Yes, so actually, I came across your page through Facebook. So it was my last semester. When I saw your page, and it was some videos about like guys you were interviewing and how they got the job and everything. So I saw it was the podcast, seemed like we are doing right now. So it was like a 40-minute podcast, and something like that. I don't remember the name of the guy. I guess it was Akash. I guess it was Akash. In the beginning. So at that time, at your page, not there were not many people, compared to like now. People are so much away, especially of my university. At that time, it was I didn't see much of the interviews like regularly. But the thing I really noticed was that how the journey of that guy was. So I noticed that there is some potential, and I was really skeptical. So I called you. And I think uh, your pitch was so great that I couldn't say no to you, to be honest.
And are you happy that you go ahead with it?
Yeah, I'm absolutely happy. I couldn't thank you less. I mean, it was all about patience, but it worked out. Yeah, really.
Very good. So obviously, when you join us, actually, there was a bit of a pause in between, because there was a bit of some kind of personal issue you have, right? But then tell everyone about that. So, and also tell everyone about what were something, maybe top 3 things that you have learned about from our job coaching program that you never even thought it was possible before this.
Uh, firstly, we started the program, back in November and December. The program was going on, and we were onto some good leads. I also landed, 1 or 2 interviews also. We were doing good. But after that, I felt sick for some time, and then I also didn't happen to visit back to India for quite some time. So it kind of like affected me like mentally. So I wanted a break. So in January, what happened was we were actually getting onto something really good, in the beginning, the first 2 weeks of January, but it was like kind of a Christmas and a New Year break. So everything was a bit like closed down at that time. So at that time, I took that break, and then I told that let's just I'll just work my my like part-time job, and I need to make money. I need to apply for my visa, and like my assessments and this and that. There were so many things. So I thought that I'm just gonna do that and take some time off. And then once that was over, I again in March I started to do the same thing that you taught me. So then we again told that let's give it let's push through again, let's not lose the momentum. That's what you advised me, and after that it just worked out within 2 weeks.
Okay, we'll talk about that later, because
Yeah.
it's a great story how it just took such a short period of time. If you really give me the focus, it could take
Yeah.
very quick. The time it takes is very short, isn't it?
And also the three things, like a couple of things that I really like to say about what I didn't know before and what I learned from it was I never thought that I could have called like straight up to take my phone and call an employer and tell that hi, Mr. Employer, I'm Yousuf, I'm a 𝗘𝗡𝗚𝗜𝗏 engineer from Melbourne, and that pitch to just begin with I never thought that I could have even done that. That never crossed my mind, actually, to be honest. Because I used to be so nervous, and like you can say kind of insecure, because I used to think that, oh no, if I say this, I don't know what they're gonna say back. But you actually kind of explained it to me. You don't have to give a damn. You just have to go ahead and just don't care about anything. You just have to pick up the phone, do those cold calls, and then the walk-ins, and everything. And even the LinkedIn template, to be honest, your LinkedIn template, that have worked wonders for me. Because I've tried, because that made my LinkedIn connections like very strong, and even I got responses from just LinkedIn chatting to begin with that LinkedIn template of yours.
Yep. So the cold call and the LinkedIn, is there anything else that, of course I know you learn a lot, but is there anything else that you think are some great takeaways that you can share with the viewers, other than the cold call and messaging on LinkedIn? Is there anything else?
And also the other thing that it is all good to do the cold calls and and contacting people on LinkedIn or even walking in, but the major thing is to follow up. And you actually like you said, what you do is that you always emphasize on following up rather than just calling. Yeah, you call, all good, but you always emphasize on you have to follow up in any case, even if if the answer is even no or yes, but you need to follow up and you need to keep digging in. So that's another thing that was really important, the follow up, because people, like I guess 90 to 95% people just don't follow up what happened with their application or what happened with the company. They say no, and you go like, okay, it's all right, it's over, and I'm gonna look towards next company.
I got you, which is very good point, because I think for the one who's watching, what Yousuf has said was pretty much spot on, because when it comes to follow up, most university students do not even follow up once, let alone 5 to 12 times, like how I tell Yousuf to do it. Indeed, I keep telling this guy, you have to send the postcard, you got to call, you got to walk in, all sort of things. And this job happened because you keep following up. Like the job that we talk about that you landed, it actually happened because you follow up with the employer, right? It doesn't happen just by one call or by one email, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. So now walk us through a little bit, because I feel that a lot of people they have a misunderstanding, that they think that my program is similar to professional year. Do you know what is a professional year? PY. Have you heard about that?
Yes, I know, and a couple of my friends are also doing
So
professionally.
tell them how, do you think my program is the same as PY, or you think it's completely different? Like, can you tell the viewers, is it the same or is different in your viewpoints?
In my viewpoint, what they are doing at PY is weekly conducting that one class, and in the end of the PY, just giving you that 3 months of like internship for like 15,000 or something like that amount of money. And people are doing just for, they are getting some points because of, they just opt for that. But I feel that, your program would be like more valuable than that, because it already contains, what they're going to what they're going to teach, like the workplace, and how your CV should be like, how you need to, like communicate with people and everything, it's all covered in your all of your templates, and in your classes, in your weekly classes as well. And like, it's not even the cost, like I think, it's very cheap than, what you're going to spend in the 𝗑𝗢𝗯, like $15,000. What you can do is that just spend a little amount of that on your training, give it a go, work hard, and stay patient as well. And you might land a job, and while doing that job, you, after a year or so, you're gonna get the same amount of points as your 𝗑𝗢𝗯. So it's like, you're spending $15,000 again after your master's. Like, I felt that that's, like, I didn't find it a really good option
Yeah,
to.
absolutely. And do you think PY people teach you how to cold call, how to walk in, how to negotiate, how to follow up? Do you think the PY teach that?
I think it's just a business. PY is just a business. It's just a business. You give us money, we give you a free internship, and everything. Everything is a setup. To be honest, like, everything is a setup. But when you walk into the like a real job market, when you're actually calling the employer, or you're meeting the employer, and when you're in that scenario, things are really different. Your how you're going to construct your CV and your PY and everything, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of your PY, it doesn't matter how your CV is, your resume is, you're just going to get a free internship. So everything is just there. Everything is there on the table, on the plate for you. So but in the real market, you need to work hard. Your CV has to be solid. Your resume needs to be solid, in alignment with what that company needs, or what the job advertisement is all about. So and your cover letter needs to be like really good than your CV as well. Because your cover letter is kind of your personality, who you really are, and where do you really align with our company. So that's how they look at the cover letters. So I don't think you're really focusing to that level in the PY, because everything is just there. It's just a setup. You're gonna get an internship, you're gonna do that, and if luck is with you, you're gonna get employed like full time.
Gotcha.
And if not, then good luck.
Exactly. So for the viewers watching this, maybe this might be a good time for you to really listen from Yousuf, because he clearly described how different our program is with PY. Because as far as I'm concerned, number one, PY people, they do not guarantee a job. And for Yousuf, he joins our diamond package, which is a job guarantee package. So what that means is I put my life on the line with him. Right? So literally, it's not just Yousuf won the job, but I won the job more for him than anyone. And that's why we work together as a team. Whereas for the PY people, most of the time it's more like an internship, like what Yousuf said, is more like a setup. So literally, they flush you out every 3 months. You go in, work as an intern, they flush you out. A new one, intern, flush you out. And you keep flushing you out. And you pay 15 grand, which is a lot of money. That's crazy. Which is probably more my next two questions. Now let's walk through the job, because I think people really it's excited to know about that. Walk us through, Yousuf, how do you get this role? Like really, like from the very beginning to you get the role. So what happened? Walk everyone through.
So to begin with, you actually, it was you in the beginning. To begin with, it was you who took me with the company, with this engineering company. You actually tipped me with on my WhatsApp. You told that go ahead, reach out to this company. He's the guy. Try to let's find out. You just told me that. So again, the training, all we train for on the calls and everything. I was so. It kind of became like kind of inbuilt in me. If I'm gonna pick up the call, I'm just gonna read out the script. It's just like that. So it just went like that with me. So I spoke to him. Then what I did was I spoke to him, and then he saw my resume, my portfolio, my cover letter, which all credit goes to you. You kind of assess that and provide feedback on that, and you told that what were the necessary adjustments we need to make in making all those documents and everything. Because of using those documents in my application, that really helped me to just go that extra mile. And that's what the employee, the boss, he really liked about the fact that he actually complimented me that you're really persistent. You really, it doesn't matter what is the outcome, but you're really working hard towards what you need. So he really liked that thing about me. So and we made sure that like we behave in that kind of manner, because we need to give our everything to back the job. So he told next week I would let you know next week what I really think about this application. And then we also, again, we did the follow-up and everything, and then he reached out to me and he told that yeah, okay, we are gonna go ahead with an interview, and let's go ahead with that. So after that, the interview which was there, so
walk everyone through the interview. It was amazing.
Really
Tell everyone what happened.
That interview, before the day.
Yeah. Walk them through the interview. That's awesome, man. The interview thing.
So I walked in with the interview. I met him, and I also took a gift with me, which you actually suggested. That it never even crossed my mind to actually take a gift and and greet them. So you told that anything it would work. So I told that what could be something that actually be something of importance. So I thought that, yeah, sweets, like Indian sweets. So it's like it's a really a good tradition back in India. So I just took those traditional sweets with me to greet them. And while going in, he just told that we're going to discuss about that later. So I just kept it in the meeting room, and then went ahead. Before even the interview started, he showed me his office. This is like the surveying, and here and he just introduced me to his team. Like it was a really big team. I didn't even know. When I searched about the company on the LinkedIn, I thought that I don't know, like I don't see that many employees and everything, with this company name in their LinkedIn or something. But when I went there and I actually looked, it was a really good company. What they were doing, the work that they were doing, it was really amazing. I didn't expect that. I thought that it's a small firm or something like that, but it was a really amazing thing that they were doing out there. And they got like just not one businesses, but a couple of more businesses to their name as well. So after I've been through his office, he took me to the meeting room, and we sit over there, and there was another senior engineer of his team who joined us, and they would kind of question me, and it wasn't like a really I can really say. And the thing that you also pointed out, that it is really an informal meeting. They have made their mind. You just need to just they just want to see you, and like just meet you in person. You actually told me before I went there. So, and it was not like like they're asking question and waiting for my answer, then I'm answering, and then another question, and then I'm answering. It wasn't like that. It was more of a like really cool conversation with them. Like, yeah, like how this thing, and discussing things on my CV, and asking me about Australia and what I came when I came, and how things went down with me, and like your experience as studying at Deakin, and more like and general basic questions about like about software, and they were very easygoing with me. They were not like like there's a wrong answer or a right answer. They just wanted to know where I'm really at with my skill set. That's what he wanted to know. And he also discussed me about about my driver's license, about how do I drive. Did I drove to Shepparton, and so he was and he told that if you didn't have a driver's license, he wouldn't even consider my application. So driver's license was really important for this role, actually. So he told, and with all this conversation, the reason I'm telling is I get a hunch that he is actually telling me this because he is actually interested to employ me. That's the reason he's telling, do you have a driver's license? Because we drive all the time, and we need to like it's much of very essential. And then also about the office, he introduced his team, his office. He showed about every places and everyone what they really do. So I thought that no one would just go ahead and show all of this stuff and everything, and just for no reason, so that's where I thought that it's just not an interview, that we are conducting an interview and we are going to let you know next week, about this or something like that. No, nothing like that. He was straight up. He was straight up with his question. He literally told me that don't think that I'm brutalizing you. I just want to know where you're at with your skill set and everything. So I just want some clarity, and that's what he got. So pretty much my interview went really well, and in the end,
and then
I
what happened in
actually
the end?
he told that he told in the end that now what's the deal with that with this gift that he asked me. So I told him that well, this is Indian sweets. I told that I brought them for you. It is like a tradition. We actually, when we meet new people and it's something precious, or and any occasion, we actually bring this and kind of gift each other this sweets and desserts. So he told that that's really amazing, but you didn't have to do that. But it's something that's very unique, because so many interviews, so many people came here, worked, and went away, and still working. So many guys and girls sitting across the table never did such a thing. You're the first one who actually brought a gift with you, and and I'll make sure that I'm gonna share this gift with all of my team, the next morning.
Wow. So it makes a lot of difference, right? It makes a lot of difference.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
The thing you told, by gifting the postcard, the thank you card, these gifts, these things really matter, and that's something that you emphasized on. You told that you got to give it, those postcards and gifts. You have you taken
I
or
keep
not?
harassing you.
You kept
I'm like,
confirming
why
that.
don't you do it? I keep harassing you. Like, why the hell don't you do
Yeah.
it? Okay, so which is good. I'm happy. And then they tell you about when they're gonna when they want you to start. Did they tell you anything along that line?
Yeah, even before at the end of the interview, he actually told me, towards not all the way to the end, but just before that, he actually told me, we are interested to offer you a role in our company. And I was like, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, although I was having this showing me so much, he's really interested in me. I really thought that, but to really listen to those words, I would like to offer you a full-time role over here. I was surprised, and I would like I couldn't believe it. Man, did he really say that? I was like that. So and before that, he was also talking to me about relocating to Shepparton. Because we told that we are interested to relocate in the regional area. That was not a problem. So he was asking me about Shepparton. Have you looked for some real estate, about living here? And you've got some people who are here who can kind of support you if you're new or something like that. And he was asking these questions. So I was like, he's asking this question. No one asked this question for no reason, actually. So after that, he told that in the end that yeah, we are interested in offering you a role at our company. So how much time do you think you would take to come to relocate and everything? So I told that yeah, 2 weeks would be he only proposed that 2 weeks would be good. Yeah, I told that that's ample time. I'll do it within 2 weeks. That's enough time. And this we actually came in contact with him just the interview, before the interview, I guess just 1 week before the interview. If the interview was this week, we actually came in contact with the company the week prior to it. So basically we can say that we just did this within a span of 10 days, not even 2 weeks.
Wow. For the viewers, you're like, what the hell is going on in here? Right? This is what happens when you know what you're doing. But one more thing, Yousuf, I want you to mention to everyone, is this job advertised or not?
No. It was
And
not
how
advertised.
important it is,
Same
that
as
it's not advertised.
it is really important if it is not advertised, because you actually have a real chance at it, when the job is not advertised, because there is really less competition. People are not going to reach out to this certain company and asking them for this role, and that is actually available in that company. People think, people don't really think, like go at that place to actually, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and like I'm just gonna contact. The main thing that in our the graduates are that that we think that the job is posted, and we are going to apply, and we are going to find out that what's going to happen, if we are going to be successful or not. And and uh, and 99% of those graduates applying for one role, 99% of them are going to receive the I'm sorry, unsuccessful email, that your application is unsuccessful. So you're going to receive that email, because there's only going to be that one guy who's going to be hired for that role. And that guy could be anyone. He could be not even a graduate. He could be a senior guy applying for a graduate role. They're going to accept him, because he's happy to work at that salary, and he's having necessary skill set. So basically, you as a graduate who really don't have work experience in Australia, and I literally had no work experience working as a civil engineer in Australia, no experience. So pretty much that's what happens with the jobs that are posted online. So compared to jobs that are not posted online, you actually have eliminated your competition way back. It might be just one or two guys, or not even one, two guys. It's just going to be you. So it's completely dependent upon your effort, how you're going to really approach the company, the manager, or anyone, how you are going to draft your application and everything. So, that's what matters.
Wow. Amazing. So it literally, yeah, like you said, if we really boil it down to business days, probably it's about 10 business days. That's how long it takes from the first time we chat with the employer to the day that you go in for the interview and close the deal, which is extremely great. Probably the last two questions, Yousuf, is because a lot of my students or my followers are actually from Deakin University, which is from your university. What would you say to them about this program? Would you recommend them to join our job coaching program or not? And if so, what would be maybe 2 or 3 reasons why they should do that?
Well, firstly, graduating out of the university, you need to make sure that you're heading towards the right direction. You need to be focused that because joining your job coaching program is not going to help them if they are not willing to get a professional job. That's just not going to happen. They need to be willing that yeah, I'm going to get, and then they can find some way, and then you even your program is there. So instead of graduation, after graduation, instead of spending money towards a professional year or any other recruiters or here and there, I find your program to be like a really good option, because it's just not that you have a diamond package and you need to pay me like any sort of amount. There are like variety of packages that you got. So whichever suits you, you go ahead with that. It's not like there's just single thing like a professional year you have to pay this much, or there's like no other option for you to pay. So instead of doing that, just assume that it's like a unit in your university. Actually, I think this program of yours should be a unit in a university. Like that's how I think this program is. It should be actually a unit in a university. You should be graded for this thing, and you should be trained for this in the university. But we don't have these things in the university. That's the reason you are there with this program. And and yes, you're right about many guys from Deakin are actually approaching your mechanical, civil, and electrical. They're all of them, they're pretty much accounting. There are many people, approaching you and actually getting not just, like a graduate role. Oh, I just found a graduate role. I'm talking about like really good roles, at good companies, doing really the work that you really dream of when you were studying masters. All right, you're going through this designing subjects and everything, and you think that, oh man, like I want to do something, good, like designing and like management or anything. So it's those kind of roles, and I'm really happy with the role that I got. I'm more than happy for the role that I got. It's just not some role that I just got. I just want to get into the job market. Any role would work for me, so I'm just working as anything, or contract administrator or a estimator or anything. No, I got the role that I really wanted. So, and it was always possible because of your training. Another point is that I want to add is that it's just not this employee. We actually got response from many other employees. Our job tracking template, like the job,
Yes.
the Google sheet, the update over there are like more than 3 to 5 companies and updates over there. They are going to get in touch with me regarding an interview. Actually, so there are companies. So it's just not like I got this one offer and I just went for it.
That's
There
right.
were a couple of offers there for me as well. Within a span of time of a day or two, they might come on tell that we want to have an interview with you or something like that. So your job coaching program, I find that it's just not about getting a job. It's about a job that you really want to work in, the sector that you really want to target, and how you're gonna get to that point. That's what you're teaching, and that's something that I think that's gonna actually help me. Throughout my life. Now I know that how I need to approach. If I want a job, how I need to approach. It just not about my first job. Even for my second job, how I need to negotiate, how I need to talk. That's something that I really learned. And I think I'm going to come back to you, if I want to do something like that in the future as well.
For sure, for sure. I'm so happy, Yousuf, and I'm thank you so much for your acknowledgement. And this is what I'm doing because I really see your potential, and to see you get the job that you wish, that's really make me so fulfilled, and I'm very glad. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because it just hurts me to see migrants, driving Uber and working in Coles and Woolies, those sort of jobs. And it's really horrible to see that, because you guys have so much talent. So all the best, Yousuf, and I wish you best of luck, and make sure that this is just the beginning.
Thank you.
And make sure you do your best, and we have to stay in touch. So you will be my new 𝗡𝗢𝗡𝗏 now, Yousuf. So if the company grows and they need staff, you got to tell me. You are my new 𝗡𝗢𝗡𝗏𝗏 now. All right.
Sure.
So make sure you don't forget me, right? Make sure you pick up my phone, right? And please tell your friends about us so we can help more people. We can change more life.
Yes, absolutely.
Remember your batch? There's Nabin. So Nabin, there's a guy called Nabin, right? Nabin is now working in Bendigo. He's also a civil engineer, and now you're working in Shepparton. So glad, man. I'm a legend now. I tell my students that maybe they should make a statue of me in front of Deakin University. Maybe they should, because the amount of people from your university. I have so many people from your uni. So, but anyway, that's another story. Okay, my friend, stay in touch. All the best. Thanks for coming, joining us.
All the way here. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Take care.